start it off. Welcome back to the Beast Game Podcast. Today we are taking a look at a Netflix original called The Ritual. It's directed by David Bruckner. The writer is Joe Barton. It's based on a novel by Adam Neville. It stars Ray Spall, Asher Ali, Robert James Collier, Sam Trotton, and Paul Reed. And the synopsis is a group of college friends reunite for a trip to the forest, but encounter a menacing presence in the woods stalking them. All right, so Jay.
Yep.
You're the harbinger of horror movies.
Yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts.
I had no idea what this movie was about. Nothing, no clue. I didn't even know about it until you mentioned it to me. So I checked it out. I had an open mind. I didn't watch any trailers, nothing. I will say after watching this movie, it reminded me of several other movies that I've seen. It reminds me of Cabin in the Woods somewhat, which is not really a good thing. It also reminded me of Blair Witch, and also reminded me of this movie called The Descent. Unfortunately, this movie, it follows the cliche for horror movies, especially something that has to deal with being in the woods. It was very predictable at times. I was hoping that it would be totally different, but it was just following the formula to a T. A group of friends are out in the woods. They decide they're going to hike somewhere or go somewhere, and they say, oh, well, we get there by going this way, and decide to go off the beaten path. And that's where all the shit goes to hell. Once they decide to go off the beaten path, that's when everything starts happening. They start encountering something, but they would just stay on the path that was originally planned. None of this would have happened. Now, if Keith would have saw this movie, he probably would have lost his mind because they did a lot of stupid shit. Could have been a lot better than what it was. It started picking up around the last act. The first act was just setting the tone, and I also knew that in the very beginning, the scene that started everything, that was like, I would call it I'm not going to say a plot device because it wasn't a plot device, but it was a scene that propelled this movie throughout the beginning to the end. It was just always there. This moment was there in the beginning, and it remained there in the middle. It was there to the very end. So it was the time when he was in the liquor store and they got mugged, and he kind of snuck away like a little bitch. His friend got killed. At that point in time, I realized that, okay, somehow, some way, that part in this movie will come back later on in this movie to bite him in the ass, or it's the time that he has to kind of break that mold
his
that
guilt.
he created. Right. He has to be better than that. He's not going to repeat that mistake again. So it did happen. So like I said, it's very predictable. Could have been a lot better. Its predictability left a sour taste in my mouth.
So, Matt, what did you think of The Ritual?
The pacing was good, although it was a very predictable movie. Kind of have a cabin in the woods feel. One thing I did like the character development in the beginning, although you very much knew that what happened in the first scene was going to come back to haunt, be the theme overall. Predictable movie. There was a lot of promise into it, although I would have liked to know a little bit more about the beast. They didn't really quite go into detail.
That is true. I agree. They really did not go into detail. It just happened and it was there.
It was just there and it looks weird.
Yeah. Look at damn totem pole.
All right, so for me, the first act of this movie is pretty terrible.
Yes.
And yeah. So it's not really until the second and third acts that the movie picks up. And the second act is a lot of issues with the rationalization of decisions and the banter between the characters, because first act kind of ends on them going to a house. A whole bunch of weird, crazy stuff starts happening.
Mm-hmm.
At which point I would be like, we need to get the hell out of here right now.
That's the thing that irritated me about this movie. It irritated me to no end. Certain things were happening in this movie, and not at one point in time did anyone say, hey, this isn't a good idea, man. We shouldn't be doing this. Instead, they compounded by more bad decisions.
Yeah, so they get lost in the woods, and what is the point of arguing about that when you just saw some freaky stuff?
Right, and the thing about it was the person that suggested that they take the alternate route, he actually became the voice of reason for a moment in time. For a moment, he was the voice of reason.
The characters kind of flip-flop a little bit because, again, they start going back and forth, issues between each other, and then he says something about the one main character's guilt because he allowed his friend to die. So there's a group of friends at a bar. They decided to take a trip. They're trying to figure out where. Someone suggests going hiking in Sweden. But after they leave the bar, two friends go into the store. The store is being held up by criminals. They get seen by the criminals. One of them hides. He's trying to tell the other guy, just hey, let it go. Just go ahead and give him his ring. And they kill him like right in front of him.
And the thing is, that part really pissed me off because I'm like, dude, why didn't you slide with him? For one.
Yeah, he grabbed a bottle, but he was reluctant to do anything.
Mm-hmm. So it's like he was frozen.
Yeah, so they decided to take the trip anyway. They go into the woods. At some point in the woods, they see a gutted deer hanging from a tree, which is signs for me to tell somebody, turn around. We need to go back the way we came. But we did
not to mention, it was fresh. Yeah. So it just happened not so long ago.
Yeah, and they start rationalizing all that, assess how that happened. The symbols on trees. That's kind of how the first act is. At a point, this really started feeling like Dreamcatcher.
I thought about that too.
Similar concept. They go to a house. Something strange happens in the house. Dreamcatcher was aliens. This is freaky stuff. So it was the point that where it started working was when they went to the house and the main character who caused his friend to die in the convenience store, when he woke up, I was like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah, when basically all of them in that house, which is another no. Let's hurry and just get the fuck out of these woods. Why would you go into an abandoned house in the middle of the woods? Doesn't that not ring suspect to you?
Sitting there praying to the scarecrow.
Yeah.
That's enough. James, you start doing that, you and your own side.
Exactly. And the thing is, tilted me to no end. After everyone in that house, all of them had like bad dreams, nightmares, something. I think that was that monster or whatever it was. They just like went to their fears and just used that against them. At that point in time, everyone understood what was going on. But there was always one fucking person that even when they know that this shit is going on and it's real as it could possibly get, they're still in denial.
That's just a sign of bad writing. That's what that is. It's an attempt by someone writing that to extend the story.
Like, it has to be some type of conflict. Yeah.
So, without giving spoilers, how did you guys feel about the third act?
The third act was the best. I agree with you 100%. The first act was a chore to get through, kind of dozing off on it. And then the second act, once they got to the house, that's when the second act started. And then it started to pick up. Third act was pretty good. They had a little bit more explanation. There's really no explanation. I guess they wanted to leave it up to the audience imagination, or like you said earlier, it could just be lazy writing. Probably a combination of both, to be honest with you.
I just felt it was predictable. I wasn't really caught off guard by anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm stuck in there and he's going to find a way to get out. And I didn't really have any expectations.
They made it a point. He had to overcome what happened in the first act.
And they also told him that he will survive this.
Right.
The one woman that actually spoke English.
Like Matt said, there was nothing that was, oh my God, this is so shocking. No, I take that back. All that was shocking was that dude praying to that totem butt naked. I was like, hold on, dude. Like, seriously.
What was the point of that? That made no sense.
Well, I personally think that this creature manipulated their minds. Everyone was having nightmares. Everybody, dude pissed himself. Dude was dreaming about his wife that passed or was killed or whatever.
But nobody's butt naked praying to the...
Yeah, I don't understand what his feeling was.
Like, what?
I understood the other people's thing, but I didn't understand why he was butt naked. Like, praying to a totem statue.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense on the second floor.
And when he came to, nothing came to his mind to cover the fuck up. He was like, I don't do this shit, man. I don't do this shit. It's like, Matt, if I'm in there, you come in that bitch, you see me butterball naked praying to a god, I just turn to you and say, I normally don't do this, Matt. This ain't me. We go way back, Matt. Middle school.
What the fuck are you doing?
You know I don't do this shit. And my balls just hanging out. And having a conversation with you.
No. Just no.
So, James, wrap up thoughts and the score for The Ritual.
Was not a bad movie. Like I said, reminded me of so many other movies. Reminded me of Blair Witch. Reminded me of Cabin in the Woods. Reminded me of The Descent. I believe the script was not that great. First act was bad. And just some of the dialogue was just horrible. I really didn't care for any of these characters. I cared for the main character. I guess that's the only character they really want you to care for. But to me, if you're writing a script for a movie, Doesn't matter what genre it is. You want the audience to care about the main characters, but especially the main character. You care about the main character, but you want to care about the other characters as well. I didn't give a damn. Only thing I cared about was like, okay, how's this guy going to make up for the death of his friend? Because he felt guilt about that. How's he going to make up? And that's the only thing I really cared about. I didn't care if he lived or died. I would give it a 5. If it wasn't for the second and third act, maybe a 2.5. But because of the second and third act that redeemed the movie in my eyes, that's the reason why I received a 5. It could have been better if it was just written better from the very beginning and just had better dialogue and better chemistry amongst the characters. It just seemed everything like, hey, you know what? Let's bring up why you didn't save our friend in the middle of the woods when we need to try to figure out how the fuck to get home.
And it was after all the freaky stuff happened.
Right. And the funny thing about it, the character that suggested that they take the detour became the person that had the most sense. He was like, look, man, I don't give a fuck. Let's not talk about this shit. Let's get the fuck out of here. I know how to get out of here. I know which direction to go. But of course, he would die. And he would die because he decided to leave the group. And he left the group in the middle of the night. So it was like he made a dumbass decision. He made up for it and was like, leader, like, look, we're going to get out of here. That's what we need to do. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to talk about all this other shit that's going on. We need to focus and get out of here and then do some dumb shit. So it was a dumbass sandwich. Dumb shit, smart shit, dumb shit. So I give this movie a 5. It was very inconsistent with the writing. Very flip-floppish with characters due to the second and third act.
Matt.
I'd give the movie a 6.5. I felt that there was chemistry between the characters, although they hated each other in the end. It was predictable, although I did feel that as far as tying in some of the story plot all the way from the beginning to the end kind of made it a sticking point. There was a lot of potential for it. They probably could have written it a lot better.
All right, so for me, I'm going to follow that up with the 5. That first act was pretty bad. Put this in the context of taking the movie in thirds. So 33%, it already loses because of that first act. The second and third acts work well, but then you have all that back and forth between the main characters. Then I did not understand the ending. I understood what was supposed to happen, but if this was all about one character overcoming their fears, what was the purpose of killing off all the other characters?
For feeding. The monster was hungry.
The monster liked Christmas. He liked to hang up ornaments, so he chose people.
The monster did like Krampus.
The main character has now killed 4 of his friends. He has no friends left. And
He's a horrible human being. Horrible human being.
Super terrible.
Like, you gotta live life like that, son.
This dude ever.
That's
you gonna die.
I don't want to be his friend. I don't want to sit next to you on the bus.
If you want to see a movie that is kind of on the same lines as this, but a way better movie, watch The Descent.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that, but I have to say yes.
Descent is a way better movie than this, but it's kind of the same premise. They're going to do a trip because of some tragedy that happened to one of their friends. They encounter some bullshit on the way, and then kind of tensions run deep between them just for survival of the fittest. I mean, people stab each other in the back, all this shit to survive, but it's a way better movie than this. I enjoyed Descent. Descent is one of my favorite movies, and it was a surprising movie when I saw it. So if you want to see a movie that's like this but better, Descent. That is it for me.
And that's the Beast Game Podcast.
That first act was just so bad.
I would say the first couple of scenes were bad.
All they had was a bat and a knife.
The first couple of scenes were bad.
Yeah. First thing come to my mind, I was like, dude, who the fuck would suggest hiking? Okay? I'm gonna tell you the guy on the street. When I was watching this, he's doing this. Like, all right, so where we gonna go next? So where we gonna do this? I almost guarantee you, hiking would not have been in an equation.
Paintball.
Paintball. It would have been something simple or whatever.
Because I always wanted to go to Sweden and hike.
Right. We all talked about at one time was going to Japan, and we're still talking about that. That's a little different though. Going to Tokyo. All right, I want to see fucking Wrestle Kingdom.
But yeah, that first act, the first couple of scenes, up to the point that the one character got killed off in the convenience store, and then a couple of scenes after that, when they went into the woods, that's when that movie needed to start right there. And again, just because of the writing, I know it's based off a book, but it seems like the screenplay for it didn't really know what to do.
Instead of having a friend die, I had the friend just like fucking have a big ass scar on his face, and he still goes on a trip. That would cause definitely more tension. You know what was the funniest part of this movie? His jab. He jabbed the shit out of that dude, and he jabbed the shit out of that old when he was trying to escape. He jabbed it. You like, yeah, a rabbit punch, like, boop! It just kept moving. That shit was funny as hell. I think I rewinded that journey at least about twice.
Well, I would say the creature design is creepy.
Yeah, it was. That was a plus. If this was to come out in the movie theaters, it probably would not have done so well. It reminded me of Blair Witch so much, man. People going places they don't know where they're going. They do some stupid shit. Remind me of Cabin in the Woods because it's this thing that's going out. They're worshiping this thing as a god. They gotta sacrifice people and shit. This reminds me of too many damn movies. Instead of like doing the Descent over again, let's add some dudes. And I still don't understand why he was spared. Because he was marked?
Yeah.
I want to know how he was marked. How was he marked?
In his sleep. Part of the whole Blair Witch shit, too. And I thought they was going to get some type of explanation. What the hell this creature was. Why were they worshiping it?
I'm fine with that. I'm just not okay with characters making rational decisions. We need to get out of here. They regress to the point before they made that decision.
Thank you. The dude was like, all right, we need to focus, get out of here. You know, man, dude, I just pissed my pants. Let's fucking go. He made the dumbass decision like, look, all right, man, you're the strongest person here. Turn to the guy, the coward. I'm going to call him a coward. You lead them out of here. I'm going to, like, no. First, what point in time were you going to say, hey, man, no, we're going together. We're going to stay together. That never came up. Kind of put us in that situation, right? I really did. I was thinking, we would survive the fuck out of that shit. Because one, we wouldn't be in fucking Sweden. We wouldn't be in Sweden. Shit. You know?
Go snowboarding, go skiing.
We would survive the fuck out of this. One, we wouldn't be in Sweden. And if we were in Sweden, we were like, look, soon as we saw that damn deer hung the fuck up, I can see all of us be like, all right, let's pack our shit. Let's go right the fuck back. That's it. We're done. This was fun while it lasted. Chris start rolling and shit.
Well, Keith would have been the person that died first because he was an idiot. Keith would have been like, yo, you need to go this way. I'm telling you.
And then he would have been mad at me because, like, James, always play it safe. You damn right I play it safe. That's why I'm still alive. But anyway.
Like, you camping. So you
Fuck
camping.
that. I agree with Keith to a certain extent. I remember saying to him that movies sometimes have to do stupid shit for it to actually be a movie. And that still remains true, but that's also lazy writing. I think it's time that people just come up with better ways to put their characters in a predicament instead of just being like, hey, let them do something stupid and this is what happens. So I agree with Keith on that aspect, but something has to happen. Something has to happen. Something has to happen for the movie to be a movie. If this doesn't happen, then nothing will happen to make the movie entertaining.
Smart thing for a movie like this, and any type of movie, because we did the Cloverfield paradox, is for everything to go right. They are making the right decisions, but the situation is just so screwed up, nothing they do matters. There might not be a payoff, but story-wise, people encounter things that happen in their lives they don't have any control over. And that is how it should show in the movie.
It happens and you have to deal with it. Deal with the situation that's given to you. Don't make the situation. If everything is all good and dandy, why are you going to fuck shit up? And now something was to happen by chance, then deal with the situation. I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. It's just lazy writing. Lazy writing. But that also goes back to what I was saying. Something has to happen for it to be a story, for there to be a movie. If nothing happens, it's nothing. Nothing's going on. It has to happen, but it doesn't have to happen by people's stupidity. But something has to happen.